This is Kevin Harlan alongside Greg Anthony and Clark Kellogg. Well, it was the Toronto Raptors winning their last game against the Bulls in Chicago. And that result, guys, was a real shock. It was just about as complete a dominant performance as we've seen them.
And the deciding factor in that one was their success from the floor. I mean, they just hit big shots time and time again.
Yeah, just the way you want it when you're the road team. Don't even give the fans a chance to get into it.
So let's take a look at the Toronto Raptors starting lineup. Lowry and DeRozan are the guard tandem. Jonas Valanciunas is out there with DeMarre Carroll. And it's Ross in at the small forward position. Screened by Valanciunas. Now here's Carroll. 8 points his last outing and stolen by Gordon. Ross against Payton. And Freak throws it down.
And that's how you make a steal count. Turn it into a quick slam at the other end.
It was really a case, it looked like Greg Anthony right there, if I can say so. It was really a case of a great defensive play triggering some instant offense.
Yeah, I remember GA as an irritant, and this guy, much like Greg, creating havoc out there.
And so here's Toronto following the bucket by Orlando.
Very dangerous to leave a guy like that open. Lucky break there for the D.
Cans the shot from the wing. Freak's got his second bucket tonight. First 1:30 gone here in the first quarter. We'll go to Doris Burke, who spoke with head coach Dwayne Casey. What's the news, Doris?
Kevin, speaking to him about their game plan, he said it is all about taking care of the ball and not forcing anything. He said the one team that beats us more than any other is ourselves. If we get sloppy on offense, then it'll be a very tough game for us to win. It's something I stressed to them before the game. Let's see if they heard the message, guys.
Good report, Doris. Well said. Thanks. An interesting thing to address before the game.
Yeah, and clearly the coach has been hammering home the point to his guys that good shot selection is absolutely key.
And I don't think you can ever overemphasize that point. I mean, intelligent basketball is about being selective with your shots. And I think that's what'll win the game for him.
Here's Freak after the Raptors pick up 2. Gordon kicks to Payton. There's the pick. Back to Gordon. Wide open look. Carroll with the rebound.
And that's the shot he has to take.
Exactly. That's the right look. The decision was good. He just didn't execute.
Ross, that's good. First quarter of basketball, just over 2.5 minutes play. Gordon with a screen on DeRozan. And Oladipo kicks to Freak. Off the left rim and out.
Not really sure what he was thinking about on that shot. That is not high IQ basketball.
Not at all. I mean, he shouldn't even have considered taking that shot. Just a poor choice there.
Now here's Lowry following the miss by Freak, and it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Lowry. Orlando trailing here. Freak in at small forward. Jennings out there with Evan Fournier. Then there's Andrew Nicholson. And it's Nurkic in at the power forward position. That's the group starting the second quarter for the Magic. Raptors shooting a lackluster 38% for the game, struggling so far. Here's Joseph. Passes it to Gaudala. Lays it up and banks it in. Jennings with the ball. Quiet so far offensively, searching for his first points of the game. And fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot 2. The Magic shooting their initial free throws of the game right here.
And they've been mediocre all season long, just about 72% from the line.
And Kevin, it's something they've been working very hard to correct and to change. I mean, they know how important it is to fix that inability at the free throw line.
And Orlando making a change here. Payton's checked in. Powell dishes to Valanciunas. Ball stolen. Quarter number 2. We're about a minute in. The basket counts and 1. He'll go to the line with a chance to make it a 3-point play.
He played an important role in their offense today, guys. Without him, they may not be in the lead. You know, he didn't get to the line in that entire first quarter. But right now, he's showing some aggressiveness out there.
Shot clock at 5. 14 feet away. The shot no good. The Magic go the other way with it. They're moving on after the tough loss they took at the hands of Miami.
And despite the outcome, I think they'll feel a little better about that game. There are a lot of positives that they can take away from that performance.
And I think that's exactly what they have to do, guys. Don't dwell on the final score. You know, think about the things you did well and move forward and take it from there. And, fellas, in this quarter, he's improved on what was already a very good performance in period number 1.
Valanciunas with a screen on Payton. And Joseph hits to Valanciunas. Here's Godalot. He's averaging just around 8.5 points a game. Here's Joseph. And it comes off the front of the rim. Magic leading by 6. Coach is liking Clark what he's seeing from his offense.
And, shoot, why wouldn't he? I mean, guys, they're filling it up with ease, executing, getting quality shots. I mean, this is fun to watch.
And, guys, they've put the defense on the defensive.
Now here's Payton. They lead by 6, their biggest margin. They set the pick. Fournier passes to Freak, and a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2.
And now we have a chance to check out Freak here. How last month turned out for him? 8th in free throw percentage, 17th in three-point field goal percentage, and with a top 20 ranking in field goal percentage, you put the ball in his hands, and he converts at a remarkable rate.
And, yeah, you know, he's the real deal at the foul line. You want him at the line for you in crunch time.
Curry's checked in for Toronto.
Another trip to the stripe for him, and I tell you what, a little bit of a different feel here in the second quarter. A little more banging going on.
Man, and it's really served them well. Seeking out the contact you mentioned and putting pressure on the defense.
Let's go to our sideline reporter, Doris Burke. Doris, what do you have?
Well, Kev, Freak in the last matchup against the Heat made some terrific plays. He finished with 13 points and did a good portion of his work from the free throw line as he drew a good number of fouls. We could see his role in this offense expand if he puts together more games like this one, guys.
Doris, thank you. Well, guys, you know, he made play after play in that game.
You know, let's see if he can keep it going tonight. I say he does. I'll bet he goes off again.
That's a pretty bold prediction there. I mean, he's going to have to be very, very strong to even come close to dittoing that performance.
While we can, let's get a quick check of our 2K leaderboard for a glimpse at one of the NBA's most elite groups. The top three-point shooting wingman in the league. You take a look at Ross, 3rd in the NBA. And that if you leave him alone, he's going to knock it down.
I mean, you've got a dilemma when it comes to any of the guys on that list. Stay up tight on them on the perimeter, and you risk them blowing by you. But if you back off, you might get your feelings hurt.
Well, I think you've got to take the first approach, Greg. You got to get up into them. You can't give these guys any space to shoot the three.
Magic leading by 8. Stolen by Joseph. Powell kicks to Curry. Toronto working the ball around now. Picked off in midair. Doris Burke has some information for us. Doris?
Well, over that break, I listened in on what head coach for the Magic was getting across in the huddle. He told his guys, be patient at the offensive end. Whatever we do, we cannot waste possessions with bad shot selection. They're not going to wait for halftime. They want those adjustments to have an impact right away. Over to you, Kevin.
And thank you for that, Doris. And so here's Toronto. After the Magic pick up 2. Got freed up. Nice work off the pick. Howell's got 5 now.
You know, the defense has got to do a much better job of fighting over those screens.
And, Greg, especially when the ball is in his hands. I mean, come on now. You know he doesn't miss too many open looks like that.
And he gets contact and the whistle on the shot. 2 shots coming up.
Really, the right play defensively. If you can't block, force him to the line.
Yeah, exactly. Prevent the layup.
And so that brings the first half to a close. It's the Magic as they wrap up the second quarter with a massive 16-7 run. And now let's catch up with Doris.
I'm alongside Coach Casey, and Coach, you guys are getting torched.
Okay, guys, solid play so far. I like what I'm seeing. But
welcome back, everybody. Third quarter just about to get going here in what has been so far a runaway game.
When you're hot, and that's certainly been the case for Freak. He has 15 points and some of his offense coming at the foul line with 5 points there.
Clark, 5 pretty big points indeed.
While we've got a moment, let's set the floor. Brought to you by Gatorade. All fueled up for the second half. Setting the floor for the Raptors. The star pair of Lowry and DeRozan are the guards. Terrence Ross is out there with DeMarre Carroll. And it's Valanciunas in at the 5, roaming the paint. Feeds it to Freak. Low block shot. Tries again. And it's Vucevic missing.
Those are chances almost always you can rely on him to get you 2 points, but the D just enough to keep him out of rhythm.
14 feet away. That's short off the rim.
And the shots just continue to say no in terms of falling.
Oladipo misses.
Well, the effort was there, but he just couldn't quite fight his way through traffic.
Clark, they've been looking out of sync offensively.
You know what? A basket here would do a lot for their confidence.
They set the pick. Ross for 3. And it's Orlando with the rebound. Vucevic has got 3 rebounds now in this one. Here's Freak. It's deflected. Ross against Oladipo. Outside Lowry. The floater can't hit. Gordon with the defensive effort.
Oof, ugly start to the second half. They're still scoreless in their first 5 attempts.
Toronto grabs the miss.
Now, nice work there to contest the finish inside.
You know, they got the shot they wanted, but his defense, deterred them from those plans.
Yep, it goes, and the Magic lead is cut down to just 10 points on the bucket from Lowry. Orlando's gone 3 of 4 from long range in the game. Good. Vucevic has got his second basket of the night.
I like the fact that he led his teammate right to the ideal spot. You don't always throw it to your teammate. You throw it to where he needs to be.
They can't guard us on the perimeter. Let's spread the floor and isolate up top. Spacing, fellas. Spacing.
Doris Burke has some information for us. Doris?
Well, over that break, I listened in on what head coach for the Magic was getting across in the huddle. He used the word patience several times in describing what he'd like to see from their offense. It's not a run-and-gun approach he wants from them. There's still plenty of basketball left to play, and as we watch how these adjustments play out, Kev, it'll be interesting.
Always great to hear from you, Doris. Valanciunas. And the shot is good. Valanciunas has got 8 points. Just under 2.5 minutes into the third quarter now. Here's Freak. Nice D from DeRozan.
He's been anything but his usual self this quarter. It's actually been ugly to see.
Screened by Valanciunas. Here's Joseph. And the lead is down inside single digits. Joseph's got his first basket of the night.
Nice work on the inside. Hard to get that one up and over the big fella.
Well, it's not supposed to be easy down there, and a little artistry on the inside helped him make it happen.
The shot's good from Fournier.
Almost uncontested. It's nice to be able to add to the lead without having to really work for it.
Outside DeRozan. The dish to Powell. Right wing. Pass to DeRozan. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Here's Joseph. And DeMarre Carroll is going to pick up the foul. That's his first foul. Orlando making some. Raptors also changing it up. Ross, who's checked in for Jonas Valanciunas. DeRozan comes in for DeMarre Carroll. And Curry subbed in for Corey Joseph. Pass to Powell. Outside DeRozan. Down low. Here's Ross. Vucevic with the block.
And he's really trying to get them back into it, but the results just have not been there.
Picked by Vucevic. The pass to Freak. Vucevic against DeRozan. That's good. And it's 6 points for Vucevic.
the tenacity on that interior, just battling, bringing that effort and will for second chance points.
Just 1 second between the shot clock and game clock. And DeRozan kicks to Powell. And the three off target. And here's Jennings. 9 points in the game so far. Here's Freak. And a big bounce off the rim, but it sinks right in. Freak's got 17.
I like the recognition of the mismatch there, immediately making the defense pay.
And we're rolling here again with the fourth quarter. Might not come down to the wire, but you never know. The backcourt is Payton and Oladipo. Gordon and Vucevic together in the post. And it's Freak in at the three, the small forward. That's who's out there for Orlando. Here's Valanciunas. That's in, coming off an assist from Lowry. Lowry's got assist number 5 here tonight.
He has such a nice touch for a big man.
Yeah, and they've got to figure out a way to get a bigger body on him, because if they don't match up his size, then he's going to continue to work him over the rest of the game.
Yeah, the defender all over.
Greg, he got him good there. I mean, that's why the shot was so far off.
And a chance to catch up on some numbers here. Scoring breakdown for the Magic.
And they've made the long range look like a layup at times in this one, guys.
Another factor here tonight has been the amount of points they've scored off turnovers.
Catching up on the changes for Toronto. Damari Carroll's checked in for Ross. And it's Joseph in for Curry. And Oladipo kicks to Freak. Can't connect from short range.
He just has not been able to get into that groove yet, guys. But as a whole, it hasn't affected them too much.
Valanciunas sets a screen for Joseph. Inside, off the pick. Nice spin off the left rim and in. And 12 points now for Valanciunas.
Boy, that was a rugged screen set there, fellas, and the defense didn't even try to go through that one.
And that's an aggressive play to try to get the rebound, just a little too aggressive.
And unnecessary. That's over the top. That's doing too much, Greg. He wasn't in good position there, and he was never going to get the ball. He just wasted a foul.
Valanciunas sets a screen for DeRozan. Just 5 on the clock. No good. In and out. Off the rim.
Nobody even close to him, and he can't believe he doesn't knock it down. And that's a great play on the backboard for him. I mean, it's what we expect. All his second chance points do not come by accident.
A little over a minute and a half of the fourth quarter gone now. Here's Freak. And fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot two. It's on Jonas Valanciunas.
That's his first personal foul.
Free throw good. Freak. And both free throws good from Freak. Raptors trail by 15. Lowry with the ball. Now Payton defending. And DeRozan kicks to Valanciunas. To the inside. DeRozan dishes to Joseph. Valanciunas passes to DeRozan. And a kind roll that time off the rim as that one falls.
Just reliable, guys. He's just always trying to make the right play.
Get the ball inside.
Payton kicks to Freak. Poke loose. Out to Payton. Now Freak. 5 to shoot. Here's Vucevic. Hands the 12-footer.
And he's made more than his fair share of those today.
Fourth quarter of play, and we're about 2.5 minutes through it right now. Let's find out what Doris Burke has.
Yes, guys, I was able to hear Dwayne Casey coaching his team during that break. He is not pleased with the score and implored them to try to make a push right now, saying, "We don't have time, fellas. If we can't make a dent soon, I'll have to pull the plug." Pretty blunt, Kevin. Back to you.
And really nothing like a good old-fashioned throwdown to get a team going.
And, Greg, they do need to get going. They wouldn't mind, shaving a couple more points off that lead right away.
Well, if the defense keeps giving up easy baskets like that, it won't be a lead for long.
Rebounded by Valanciunas. Valanciunas has got his 5th rebound right now in the game. The feed to DeRozan. Teardrop shot, and 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle and a lot of contact there. It's going to be on Victor Oladipo. And he makes the first.